Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go.
Oh my lands, you guys. I just got an email from my lawyer that my trademark, Heart-Centered Entrepreneur, went through. After 10 years, I finally have my trademark. I could cry. I really got to a point in my business where I wasn't sure if I was going to get the trademark, and I kind of just surrendered it, but worked with several different lawyers and last year decided to re-engage with the process, and this lawyer, he was able to get it for me, even though it was contested, and it really looked like I was not going to get it, but it went through. So I am beyond thrilled. And for those of you who have been with me for all 10 years of using Heart-Centered Entrepreneur, I just want to say thank you. What a full circle moment. Oh my goodness, to know I have this protection to keep using this brand, to keep using those words just means so much to me. And I'm just honestly still kind of in shock. It's just so wild because I know from, being a business coach and having so many amazing clients and having friends that are in business that it's really normal for things to take a long time, right? In many ways, this trademark took me over 8 years. Over 8 years ago is when I first applied for this trademark. And I've been working at it for the last 8 years on and off, but not consistently. Do you remember the episode I did recently that talked about how don't worry, you can be inconsistent and still get great results? This is such a great example of that. And I think too, I really think that the online space, I don't think it's as bad anymore, but for a hot minute in the online space, there was so much marketing around sneeze and make $10,000 or everything has to be easy. And if it's not, you're doing something wrong. Instead of this message, I always tell my bar students in class, hey, this workout is hard, but also you're resilient and tough. You can make it through it. Right. And I think too often growing up, if you're told you're so smart, you're so beautiful, you're really fast at learning things, that actually can work against us in entrepreneurship because that isn't what's most valuable. What's most valuable in entrepreneurship is not letting things get under your skin, tolerating failure, tolerating conflict, tolerating when people get upset with you. Really channeling your resilience, channeling your tenacity, channeling your inner worthiness, all of these things, right? And I just want to underscore sorry, by the way, my voice sounds really smoky and sexy because I'm sick, you guys. I think I told you I had that major surgery, and then because of it, they had me on preventative antibiotics, which of course those wrecked my immune system. So as soon as I get whatever it is from the gym or from my kids, get a cold and cough for the first time in who knows how long. So sorry about my voice. The importance of having good support, because especially this last lawyer, he's been so amazing. Please let me know if you ever need a trademark attorney. He's phenomenal, so affordable. He was the most affordable lawyer, and he was also the hardest fighting lawyer and also the most chill lawyer. And so even though there was some up and down things, he stayed so chill the whole time that I really even wasn't stressed out, which says a lot because I'm high anxiety and but it really reminds me of the pilot, when the pilot's calm and is okay, we're going to have some turbulence, but we'll be fine. You're okay, we're going to be fine. Right. It is just so fascinating to me, who we have on this adventure with us, our coach, our friends, even our family, our partner, our kids, all of that makes such a difference in how you're feeling in your inner climate. I think as empaths, we so easily take on other people's emotions, which number one, we need to work on not being codependent. I know that's still my journey. But number two, maybe we always will lean a little codependent. So because of that, we really need to have stable people in our business that will stand the ground for us, right? When we can say like, oh my God, I did a webinar and it was so scary and no one showed up. Like our coach, me, can say, that's okay. It was your first webinar. You did a great job. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, it was my first webinar. I did a great job. Okay, I'm going to get back out there, right? Like the reason I say that is because this lawyer, even though it was kind of a crazy fight behind the scenes and really had to interact with some people that didn't want me to get this trademark unfairly, because he was doing the work for me and because he was so chill about it, or at least appearing that way, I was super chill about it, even though it was like a little crazy, you know? And I just think in business, we are going to have drama, but our willingness and ability to tolerate the drama, and I mean the right type of drama, right? Like some drama we can control, right? Like our clients, our partner, like we don't need to tolerate more drama from that than needed. But like some drama, like legal situations or challenges with clients, or like some of that is just part of business, right? And honestly, if we had a regular day job, God knows it would be a part of the regular day job, right? But I really feel like having the right support helps us do these long-term battles, get these long-term wins, and helps us to feel better in the process too. When we feel good, we're not making impulsive decisions, right? Like there was one point where we were like, a party was contesting me and my lawyer was just encouraging me to wait it out, right? And so just being patient, holding the unknown, letting go of control, letting go of anxiety, right? I think so often we are impulsive because we can't tolerate anxiety. But when we can control that, I think like time almost always helps something. Let's say there's like a client situation or a legal situation, right? Like sleeping on something for 24 hours almost always helps, even though there's like that ambiguity or that unknown. Okay, just one more side note. Thank you for being patient with me. If you've noticed the last 2 months, my podcast has been on my phone. That's because I've been having some challenges with my computer mic situation, but I'm about to leave to go on my Spain trip. So I just am not in the mood to troubleshoot it. I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. And I'm not one to let technology like stand in my way. I'm like, F it, we're going to find another way. And I think that's like one of my strongest skill sets in business is just like at the beginning, okay, someone wants to buy coaching from me, make a PDF, right? And I think more and more online, we're seeing a newer generation come in of 20-year-olds, of younger 30-year-olds who are not bogged down in the same mindset that we were taught. If you're in your upper 30s, if you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s, you might still be in the old school mentality that I was in, which is like, we need a certificate, we need a degree, we need to be qualified, right? I really think that's no longer the metric. The metric is like, who's going to be brave, who's going to share their truth online. So anyway, F the technology, like don't let it get anything get in the way. Even before I had a podcast, I think I told you girls I would like record voice notes on my phone and I would put it on Google Drive and I would email it to people. So don't let technology stand in your way. My first online course, I didn't have a course platform. I did some videos on unlisted YouTube and I emailed them to my course students. And even though I'm 10 years in and I use more technology now, obviously because I have way more systems, I'm still not afraid to do it scrappy and dirty. And I really feel like what slows us down is when we're not willing to just try it, to take action, to make mistakes. Okay, I digress. So what I wanted to share this podcast, though, was for the last 10 years in business, I just want to make this like a little baby celebration for me and for you. And if you're listening to this, I would love to send you like a little Easter egg, a little surprise. So email me the words 10 years in business, and I want to send you something to thank you for being along on the journey with me, whether you've been here for all 10 years since 2016 or whether we just met. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so proud of you for being here. I'm so proud of you for going after your dream and really fighting for that 3-day work week that you deserve and showing up online and using your voice. Like these things aren't easy, but they're so rewarding. And I feel like as women, it's really the only way to live, in my opinion, a fulfilling life. One of full self-expression, one of where we're not limited by a boss telling us what we can say or not say, telling us what we can do or not do. I think it's ultimate freedom, and I think all women deserve that. But I know that it's a fight, and I know that it's not easy, and obviously no shame to women that aren't wanting or willing to make that happen, because I don't think our world makes that easy for women to show up and shine, but giving you credit for going after it, right? For seeing the truth. It's like that old depiction and philosophy of like, I'm probably going to ruin this, but like, a lot of times when we see the light and we see the truth, we're like, oh, maybe I'd rather be naive and ignorant and like not see the truth and go out of the cave, right? Because going out of the cave was easier. It's kind of easier to be in a day job, even though it kind of sucks, right? And even though it kind of like crushes us. And even though we have to like basically just like survive until retirement, even though by the time we retire, we're like, really, it's harder to travel the world when our bodies are a little older, right? But it's not easy to be outside the cave, but it sure as hell is rewarding. And in my opinion, is the only way to live. So kudos to you for being there. Okay, I wanted to share in the last 10 years of business, like my kind of 3 favorite eras that I think about, just as like a fun little recap. And so the first is my Facebook group era. So I really launched my business with my Facebook group when Facebook groups were a little bit bigger. And I still have it to this day. And I still love my Facebook group. Sometimes I'll just share still little nuggets in there that I don't share on Instagram, because I think there's something about a community. And for me, that was my first safe space. I made it a private group so that like my day job didn't know about it. And I felt like other therapists were going to judge me and like blah, 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 right? Like, no one cares, Anna. Go do your thing. And so I made my Facebook group, and that was such a fun, safe way to really work with my first 10 clients and really gather community and practice using my voice. And I told you, like, do my first Facebook Live, which I like prayed no one would show up online with me. So I just did my first Facebook Live by myself. I'm like, just let me be, So I really feel like that was my first era when I did a lot more challenges, right? And then I feel like my second era was really having this podcast and really coming to a place of, I think it was really easy for me to create community and make it about others, which is great. But the fun thing about a podcast is it really forced me to like find and use my voice and really show up unapologetically and share my truth, my opinion about entrepreneurship, about motherhood, about working a 3-day work week, all of that. Then my next era, I really feel like happened in the last like 2 years or so, which is really embracing the 3-day entrepreneur messaging, which honestly I've been teaching for 10 years, but I really have been leaning into more in the last 2 years, just because I've been thinking about what is most essential about heart-centered entrepreneurship is doing it without codependency, doing it without self-sacrifice. And how we do that is 3-day work week, because what we're doing is we are giving with our whole heart, but then we're creating massive space for rest. And I think the more we make margin and practical boundaries for ourselves, AKA work less, I think the more we're going to be lit up naturally in our work, right? The more that like, if we do overwork a little bit, then we're like, oh, I'm working 4 days, right? If you're on a 5-day work week, God knows you're overworking to 7 days. And so I really think the 3-day work week is just so essential. And I really encourage my clients to do this no matter what business they're in, whether they are a done for you business, like a designer, an OBM, or whether they're a life coach, a business coach, a health coach, right? Like any online business, I really encourage you to embrace that working 3 days a week, working 3 weeks out of the month, taking the last week off. And it's really branded not only who I am long-term in my business, but really what I encourage my clients to be. And really, I feel like it's just so secondary to the heart-centered entrepreneur brand. I feel like it is what it means to be a heart-centered entrepreneur is taking care of yourself, putting your life first, and of course, having your beautiful, happy, boring dream life. So those are the 3 chapters. I would love to know, like, have you been on board for all of them? So many of you guys, like, help me launch this podcast. Like, you were on launch team, not just for the book, but also for the podcast. You really helped me get this out there. And so I just want to thank you so much. If you want to do something for me, I would love to ask you to rate and review the show. Every single review I read, and it helps me so much, whether it's on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening on. I would love for you to rate and review the show. Send me a screenshot. I'd love to see it. But just thank you. Thank you for being along on this journey. I just want to take a minute to stop and celebrate, because there's no one else that I'd rather celebrate with than you. And I think sometimes when we're on these like long journeys, like it feeling like forever to fully book my coaching practice for the first time, right? Feeling like it took forever to write my book, to buy my house. Like in the moment, everything just feels like it takes so long and there's no hope, right? And so when things do break through, I just think it's so important to celebrate it and to own it. And I would love to hear, is there something you're in the middle of, like a messy middle biz puberty journey on? Is there something you're feeling stuck on, or you're like, I will someday make breakthrough with this thing, but right now I'm not in breakthrough and I'm annoyed? You're allowed to be annoyed. You're allowed to be upset. All the emotions are okay. Okay, sending you a big hug.
Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.